In this video, we are going to recreate the escape.studio website, which is the hero section, and the another section which is beneath this. Let me show you that. So I'm just reloading it, and you can find a nice animation. And when I scroll, a new text appears, and if I scroll further, the existing text disappears and the new text appears. So this is what we are going to make in the framer by using a scroll transform and also the scroll variants. Let's see how we are going to make that in framer. So I have a new project here. Let's take into the website. Here they have used only the two colors. One is the black and another one is the white. So this is the black. Let me make it as a black one. And we need to use and we need to add a text, right? So let me create a frame, and before that, for the desktop, let's take it as a layout and make the distribution to be in the center as of now. And coming to the frame, let me give it as text wrap. Okay, let me take out this color and let me give it to fill, and inside it I'm going to add the text. So I have added the text here, and we need another text also. Let me duplicate this and let me give the name it as it work. So let me change as it make we will make it work. Okay, we will make it work. So the next one is the three text should appears with some delay, right? So again, let me add three text, and this will be the tag 1, and let me reduce the size considerably, make it as 30. Okay, and okay, I have added the first text that will be act as a tag 1. Let me duplicate this and bring it below this. We will make text, and again let me duplicate this and bring it here, and let me rename it to 2. The again has 3. Let me replace the text. Let me check it here. That is because that is only one way. Okay, let me give it as because that is only one way. And next is to make it to the next step. Okay, to make it to the next step. Now what the next one? That is nailing your MVP. Okay, so that we have made the basic structure of this text wrap. And now what we are going to do is, let me reload it again for the understandability. So what it's making is, first these two text, that is two big text is appearing, and later on it's making some space, and then all the three text, that is the tags, is gradually appearing with a blur to the real text. So this is what we are going to make with the use of component. Okay, let's do that. So for that, let me create the component. Let me give the name it as text wrap, and coming to this, let me make the variant to be in desktop. Okay, and what the next thing is, I want to select these three tags, and I want to make the visibility to no for the first one. Okay, and then instead of giving the name as text tab, let me make it as first. Okay, and let me create the variant. Let me make it as second, and here we need to make the space, right? So let me select all three tags, and instead of giving it as visible no, let me give it as visible s, but instead I'm going to reduce the opacity. Okay, so first it will appear, and then it will make the space for the tags, right? And the next thing is, I'm going to create the another variant. Let it be third, here we need to select all those. Okay, I have select all the 3 tags, and let me increase opacity somewhere 0.6 or 0.3. Okay, 0.6 will be fine. Okay, and then we need to give the blur effect for the text. Okay, so let me go to the filters, let me choose the blur, let it be in 5. Okay, so that we have made the structure of it. First it appears and it makes up the space, and then it will be in a blurred state. Okay, the next variant will be the 4th. Okay, and here then all the tags will be in the opacity of 1, and let me take the blur to 0. Okay, so that we have made the structure. Now we need to make the interaction between these two. So let me go to the interaction, new transition. So on appear, it should go to the variant of second. So just we made like this. Let me show you in the preview. It's not showing up. Let me reload this. It's not showing up because we didn't mention any of the timing between these two variants. So we need to make a sum of the timing between the variants. So I'm going to the delay. In here, I need to make it as 0.5. So let's check how it's working now. Yeah, it's making up the space with some of that time delay. The same process have to be applied for other variants. So this is the second variant, and here with the same as appear 0.5, it should go to the third variant. Okay, the same applies. Third, it should go to the fourth one. Okay, and coming to this, let me take out this one. So let's see how it's working. Showing up. Yeah, again I'm showing you. It's making the space, blurring, and it's appearing. So that we have made the first hero section effect. Let me show you here. It's making up space, appearing. And even if we want, we can change the transition. Let it be to like this. Okay, let me check. It's smoothly happening, right? It's good. And even if we want, I can increase the size. Okay, let me check. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, now we are going to recreate the second section. Let me show you the main part. This is the one. Okay, before that, let's make this also. So here I have added the text, and here I'm going to create the ticker effect. So let me go here, let me take out this sticker and place it somewhere here. Okay, let me make it as fill, and let me reduce it considerably, and let's make it here. And I don't want this clipping, let me make it to 0, and let me check how it's working. Okay, great. And coming to here, make it as fit. For this, make it as fit. Okay, let's check. Yeah, great. Now next, let's concentrate on the next one. This is the thing. And so for this, let me make it to fit content, and let me create a frame inside it. Okay, and let me make it as fill, and this will be make it as scroll section, and let's make the layout to be in a stack. And here we are going to create another frame. Okay, before that, let me take out this color, and here let me create another frame. It will be act as sticky, and let me make it to fill. Okay, let me make it as fill as of now, and let me take out this color. Okay, got it. And then let me make it as to be in a layout. Here I have created as scroll section, and the next thing as sticky. Let me explain you what we are going to do now. Here the section start here, but the text is sticking in the middle of the screen. So it's scrolling till here. We need to give the appropriate a sizing of it. So this will be the sizing, and inside this there will be a sticky positioning of this text. So that particular text should stick in the middle of the screen until the holder ends. Okay, so let's see how we are going to make that. And before that, let's make the structure of it. So we have created a scroll section and a sticky, and inside it we are going to create the text. So let me create another frame. Okay, and this will be title wrap. Okay, let me take out this one, and inside it I'm going to add the title. Let me copy this one and then paste. Okay, and anyone can build fast today. Okay, let me give this text. Anyone can build fast today. Okay, and then let's make it as width to be in fill and height to be in fit content, the same. Okay, so we have created the first title, then we need another title. So let me duplicate this one, and this will be, let's build your value too. I'm copying this. Okay, let's build your value too. Here we have created the two title wraps, but the thing is, both the title should stick in the middle of the screen, not stacking one over the other. So how we are going to make this? We are going to make both the title wraps to be in absolute positioning. So for the first title wrap, let's make the position to be in absolute and make it to be in the center. The same follows here. Let's make the position to be in absolute and make it to in the center, so that we have a made to be in the center. Right. The next thing, let's concentrate on this grid later. First we need to make this text to be appear and then disappears, and the new text should appears. Let's see how we are going to make that. Coming to the scroll section, let's give the spacing. Okay, and let's make the distribution to be in the start. The same for the sticky. Let's make it as a viewport to be in the 100 and make this alignment to be at the top. Okay, got it? Done. Here we are going to see about the scroll trigger. Okay, so if any of the thing appears on the screen, some of the action should happen. That is, it should trigger the action to be happen. Okay, so for that I'm going to create 3 frames. Okay, let me do. Okay, here this will be trigger 1, then make it to be in a fill, and let make the position to be in absolute. Let bring it somewhere here, and it should not be inside the sticky, it should be above the sticky, because only this particular thing should be in the sticky positioning rather than other, because only if this particular frame appears on the screen, a triggering should happen. So that's why we shouldn't we should not keep this triggering frame inside the sticky. Okay, so this will be the trigger 1, and the next one, it will be trigger 2, and this will be trigger 3. Okay, so let me show you. So here, when this particular frame appears on the screen, it should trigger some of the action. And also, if the second frame appears on the screen, it should trigger another action. The same thing follows for the third one. Okay, so this is what we are going to apply in order to get this type of animation. Okay, let me go back. And before that, we haven't make the position to be in a sticky. So let's make it as sticky and give the viewport to be in 100. It won't work because for the parent, we need to make the overflow to be in a visible. So this is the parent and the next one is the desktop and this is the parent, and also we need to give the overflow to be in a visible. Okay. And let's check if it's working. It's sticking. So when this frame appears, this particular, the first text, right? The first text should disappears. And when the second thing appears, then the second text should appear on the screen by disappearing the first text. Got it? So the third one I have used is for another trigger. Later I will explain this. Okay. Okay. So coming to this, I'm going to effect. This will be the scroll transform. So when the section in view, what the effect should happens? 1, 1, 2 is 0. Okay. Transition. We need to mention the section. Okay. So for that, we need to give the scroll section name for all these 3 triggers. So coming to the trigger 1, I'm going to the scroll section. Let me give the name it as trigger 1. For the second one, let me go to the scroll section. Let me give the name it as trigger 2. The third one, it will be trigger 3. Okay, we have mentioned the name for all these triggers. Let me go to this text, this transform. I need to mention the section that is as trigger 1. So it should go from opacity 1, scaling 1 to opacity to 0. Okay, let's see if it's working. It's appearing on the screen. When the first frame appears, it's disappearing. And the second thing is happening. Okay, the next thing is for the second text. Initially, the second text should be in the opacity of 0 and later the opacity should be in a 1, right? So for this, let me copy this transform and let me paste this. And here, when the trigger 2 appears, you should go from opacity 0 to opacity 1. So for this from, let me make the opacity to be in a 0 and to opacity to be in 1. Okay, and let me show you this. It's appearing. When this particular frame appears, it's disappearing. When the second thing appears, it's appearing. Okay, great. Now let us take out the color of this. We have given the color only for the understandability. Okay, and now let's take out this color. Now we have made the basic setup. Now we need to make this particular effect. Okay, we can't able to make the exact effect of it, but somewhat we can recreate this effect, something like this. Okay, now we need to create another frame which should be inside this sticky, because even this effect should stick on the screen. Okay, and let me give the name as grid. Let make the width to be in a fill. And let me increase it. Let me give the viewport to be in 100. Let me take out this color. Okay. Now I'm going to create this grid as a component. Okay. With this component, we are going to create the 3 different variants. Okay. Let me explain you. First, the first variant will be something like this. That is with the dots. And if I move, it should goes like this, and then this will be the second variant, and then everything should disappears. So this will be the third variant. Okay, so for this, let me create the component as a grid. that will be the first, and inside it I'm going to create a frame. This is the frame. Before that, let me make that as layout, and let me give the width to be in 11 and 13. Okay, and we need to create the frames, that is with the 6 columns and 4 rows. So it will be around 24. So let me duplicate it till 23. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 19 20 21 22 23. Okay, now let's make the layout to be in grid with a column of 6 and rows of 4. Okay, so this is how it will be looking. But coming to the width and height, it's automatically converted to fill. So let me select all those and make it to be in a fixed, and fixed it will be 11 and it will be 13. And then let's give the gap between these things. So let me give it as 250 and 250. Okay, I can able to view all the dots. Okay, we have created the first variant. Now let's create a second variant. This will be the second. Okay, and what's here is we need to make something like this, right? So let's see how we're gonna make that. But before that, we haven't changed the color. So this particular dot color should be in white. Okay, and coming to the second one, this one, we need to set up the width and height of it. So instead of giving it as a fixed width and height, let me make it as fill and fill. And coming to the gap, we need to reduce the gap between this. So let's give the gap to be in 20 and 20. Okay, and coming to all the frames, let's give the radius somewhere here, that is 40 will be fine. Okay, so that we have created the second variant also. And now let's create the third variant. For the third variant, we are going to reduce the gap between this frame. Okay, so for that, let me select this third variant. Let me give the gap to be in 0 and 0, something like this. Okay, before that we haven't given up the background color for this variant, so let me give the color to be in black. Okay, so that we have created the first variant, second variant, and also the third variant. Okay, right. Now what we are going to do now is I'm going to select the scroll section and I'm going to give the background color of it to be in white, because it will be in a black color. Once a second text appears, the remaining color should be in white. That's why we need to make the scroll section color to be in a white. Okay, we haven't create the fourth variant, which should be completely in a white color, right? So again, I'm going inside this grid. Coming to the third, let's create the fourth variant, and let's select all the frames and make the radius to be in a 0. Okay, that's it. And again here, coming to the grid, instead of giving and coming to this, instead of giving it as a first variant, we need to mention it as second, there is third, and this will be the fourth. Okay, and coming to this one, let's give the viewport that will be in 100. Okay, great. It's taking too much of time, so what I think is, let's bring the trigger to be on the top somewhere here, and let's reduce the height. Okay, let's check. And then another thing is, there is a little sparse, so for that, let increase let's increase the height of it, and this one, let's bring it closer to it. Okay, let's increase this, and now let's check. It's working perfectly fine. The thing is, we need to give the width for this. Let's give the max width to be in 800 or 900. No, just give it as 1000, 1200, 1000. Okay, the same follow-ups here. Let's make it as relative, and max width will be 1000. Okay, right, it's working perfectly fine. Great. And then another thing which I have noted is, let's make this dot to be a little bit smaller. Okay, it's looking it's looking very big. So coming to the first thing, let me choose the average one, and let make it as h or 6, and let me take out this radius 1. Okay, now it looks nice. And the next thing is, it's looking fine, even it's okay, but here it's too much, it's very big. So again, I'm going here. Let me select all the frames. Let's make the radius to be in 20. So now let's finally preview this. It's working fine. Okay, great. It's looking perfectly fine. I hope you have really enjoyed this video. If you want this workable file, you can find the link in the description below as a remix link so that you can make use of it. I hope you have really enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one.